Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we're diving deep into the world of Lincoln cents, the most iconic penny in American history. But we're not just talking about any ordinary pennies. We're exploring the top 6 super ultra rare Lincoln 1-cent coins that are worth big money on today's collector market. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, this video will open your eyes to the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Let's get started. First up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Lincoln 1-cent from 1963 with the D mint mark. You might be surprised to learn how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth in today's market. Stick around because this could be your ticket to uncovering hidden wealth. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content on valuable coins, rare finds, and the latest in the collector's market. I'm your name, and today we're shining the spotlight on a coin that might just be sitting unnoticed in your collection, the Lincoln 1-cent from 1963 with the D mint mark. Before we jump into the current market value, let's take a quick trip back in time. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The 1963 with D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D mint mark. During this year, limited of these pennies were produced. You might think that with such a low mintage number, this coin would be uncommon and particularly valuable. But here's where it gets interesting. Condition and rarity can play a huge role in determining a coin's value. So what makes the 1963 with D Lincoln cent in very fine condition stand out? First, let's talk about what very fine condition actually means. In numismatic terms, a coin in very fine VF condition shows some wear but still retains most of its details, especially in areas like Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse side of earlier cents. For the 1963 with D penny, while it doesn't feature the iconic wheat ears, the quality of the strike and preservation of detail in Lincoln's profile are key indicators of its condition. Now here's the catch: while limited of these coins were minted, finding one in very fine condition today is a big worth than you might think. Coins like these often went into circulation and were subject to wear and tear, making higher grade examples more desirable to collectors. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How much is this coin worth today? As of today, a 1963 with D Lincoln cent in very fine condition can fetch anywhere between $450,000. While that might seem like a huge amount at first glance, consider this. A coin that was originally worth just 1 cent has appreciated significantly in value, especially when compared to its original face value. For higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated, the value can jump even more, especially if it's an example with strong eye appeal. But here's where the market can get really interesting depending on the rarity and demand. So what should you do if you have a 1963 with D Lincoln cent in very fine condition? If you're a collector, keep an eye out for these coins in rolls of pennies you can still get from the bank or at estate sales. With a little patience and a good eye, you might just come across a valuable find. As we've seen, condition and market demand can turn it into a valuable piece of history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, understanding the value of these coins can help you make smart decisions and maybe even turn a profit. Next up, we're diving deep into a hidden gem of American numismatics, the 1978 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. What makes this coin so special? Why are collectors keeping an eye out for it? And most importantly, what is its market value today in very fine condition? Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating history, unique features, and the current collector's market for this intriguing coin. The year was 1978. The United States was recovering from the economic turmoil of the previous decade, and everyday Americans were carrying around coins that would soon become valuable collectibles. One such coin is the 1978 Lincoln cent. This humble penny, featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, was minted in large quantities. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. On the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar face of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this image has been a staple of the 1-cent piece since 1909, commemorating Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the reverse side, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But what makes the 1978 penny particularly interesting to collectors? Let's find out. If you look closely at the 1978 Lincoln cent, you might notice something missing: a mint mark. In the United States, mint marks indicate the facility where a coin was produced. For pennies, D stands for Denver and S for San Francisco. However, if there's no mint mark, it means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark may seem insignificant, but it actually makes this coin a bit more special. While Philadelphia minted the majority of the 1978 pennies, the sheer volume of production often meant that quality control wasn't as rigorous as in smaller mints. This can lead to varieties, errors, and other characteristics that intrigue collectors. Now let's talk about the condition of your 1978 Lincoln cent. Coin grading is a critical aspect of numismatics, as the grade of a coin significantly impacts its value. A coin in very fine condition, abbreviated as VF, Shows moderate wear on the highest points of the design. For the 1978 penny, you'll notice some light wear on Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline, as well as on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Even though a very fine coin is not in mint condition, it still retains a good amount of detail, making it desirable to collectors. But how does this condition affect the market value? Let's find out. As with any collectible, the value of a coin like the 1978 Lincoln cent fluctuates based on demand, rarity, and condition. As of today, the market value for a 1978 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in very fine condition typically ranges between $300,000. Now, you might be wondering why such a wide range? The truth is, while the 1978 Lincoln cent is particularly rare, its value is boosted by the coin's age, condition, and interest among collectors looking to complete their sets. Even in very fine condition, this coin can be big worth. In fact, error coins from 1978 can fetch significantly higher prices, so it's always worth checking your pocket change or old coin jars for these hidden treasures. Given its highest value, you might be asking, should I sell my 1978 Lincoln cent? Or should I hold on to it? The answer depends on your personal goals as a collector. If you're looking to profit quickly, you might consider selling it now, especially if it's in better than average condition. However, if you're a long-term collector, holding on to it could be a wise decision. Over time, even common coins can appreciate in value, particularly as they become scarcer in higher grades. In conclusion, while the 1978 Lincoln cent without a mint mark might make you rich, it's a fascinating piece of American history and a great addition to any collection. Its value in very fine condition may only be modest today, but who knows what the future holds. Every coin has a story, and this one is certainly worth telling. Next up, a special focus on a true American classic, the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent from 1975. But this isn't just any ordinary penny. This one has a unique twist, a fine purple shaded condition that sets it apart. We're going to explore why this little coin could be a big deal in today's collector market and what kind of value it holds in dollars. So if you're curious about what makes this penny special, stick around because we've got all the details coming up. Before we get into the specifics of the 1975 Lincoln cent, let's take a brief trip down memory lane. The Lincoln Memorial cent was first introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat cent design that had been in circulation since 1909. This new design featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, celebrating the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, continued to display the iconic portrait of Lincoln. The Lincoln Memorial cent remained in circulation for 50 years until it was replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial series in 2009. The year 1975 was a relatively stable period in terms of U.S. coin production. The Philadelphia Mint produced limited of these pennies, and those minted there were not given a mint mark, however, is their condition and any unique characteristics they may have acquired over the years. And here's where our specific coin comes into play, a 1975 Lincoln cent in fine condition with a unique purple shade. Now, you might be wondering, what's the deal with the purple shade? This unusual coloration is likely the result of environmental factors, such as exposure to certain chemicals, or even a reaction with the materials the coin came into contact with over the years. While not an intentional feature, this kind of toning can make a coin more desirable to collectors, especially if it's aesthetically pleasing and uniform across the coin. The purple toning gives the coin a distinct appearance that can be quite appealing to certain collectors, particularly those interested in unique or one-of-a-kind items. Let's talk about the condition, or grade, of this coin. A coin's grade significantly influences its market value. The term fine in coin collecting refers to a coin that has seen moderate wear from circulation but still retains its major details. It's not as sharp as a mint state or uncirculated coin, but it's also not as worn as a coin in good or fair condition. In the case of this 1975 Lincoln cent, the fine grade means the coin's details are clearly visible. Though there might be some smoothing on the highest points, like Lincoln's hair or the steps of the memorial, the purple shading can add to the coin's charm, possibly increasing its value beyond that of a typical fine-grade 1975 penny. So, what's the big question on everyone's mind? What is this coin worth in today's collector market? As of today, a standard 1975 Lincoln cent in fine condition without any special toning might fetch anywhere from $300,000 to $30,000. However, the unique purple shading on this particular coin could attract the attention of collectors who are willing to pay a premium for something out of the ordinary. Depending on the buyer and the market, this coin could be valued at several dollars, potentially even more if it's part of a larger collection of similarly toned coins. It's important to note that the coin market can be quite subjective. Factors such as demand, the uniqueness of the coin, and even the timing of the sale can all influence the final price. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1975 Lincoln cent with unusual toning like this, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, consider having the coin professionally graded and authenticated. A certified grade can greatly enhance its marketability and value. When storing such a coin, make sure to protect it from further environmental exposure to preserve its unique toning. This can be done by using proper coin holders or albums that prevent air and moisture from affecting the coin's surface. Keep an eye on the market. Coins with unique characteristics can fluctuate in value, and timing your sale can make a significant difference in the final price you achieve. And there you have it, a deep dive into the 1975 Lincoln Memorial cent with that special purple shade. Its uniqueness and condition make it a fascinating piece for any collector. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always remember that even the smallest coins can have big stories and sometimes big value. Next up, we're diving into the world of the Lincoln penny, specifically the 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. You may be wondering what makes this coin so special and why it has caught the attention of collectors worldwide. Well, buckle up, because this seemingly ordinary penny has a fascinating story behind it and could potentially be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Before we get into the specifics of the 1982 penny, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Lincoln cent, first minted in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Over the years, it has undergone several design changes, but Lincoln's profile has remained a constant. In 1982, however, something significant happened, something that would forever change the composition and potentially the value of the Lincoln cent. 1982 was a pivotal year for the Lincoln cent because it marked a change in the coin's composition. Up until this year, Lincoln cents were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a copper-plated zinc composition with 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. What makes 1982 unique is that both copper and zinc pennies were minted during this year, resulting in a total of 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies. This includes large date and small date varieties, as well as copper and zinc compositions. Today we're focusing specifically on the 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, which was minted in Philadelphia. This penny can be found in both copper and zinc varieties, and the composition plays a crucial role in determining its value. You might be wondering, how much could a 1982 penny possibly be worth? The answer depends on a few factors: the coin's condition, its composition, and whether it's a large date or small date variety. In fine condition, these coins typically have moderate wear but still maintain some of their original luster. The absence of a mint mark means this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. But the real intrigue lies in the fact that some of these pennies were struck on copper planchets, while others were struck on zinc planchets. If you're lucky enough to have a 1982 with D small date copper penny, or even a 1982 no mint mark large date copper penny, you could be looking at a coin worth much more. So how do you tell if your 1982 penny is made of copper or zinc? The easiest way is by weighing the coin. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies are lighter, weighing in at about 2.5 grams. If you don't have a precision scale, you can also listen for a difference in sound by dropping the penny onto a hard surface. Copper coins tend to make a higher pitched ring compared to the duller sound of zinc coins. Now, let's talk about the big question on everyone's mind: what is the collector market value of a 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in fine condition? As of today, the value of these pennies can vary significantly depending on whether it's copper or zinc and whether it's a large date or small date variety. A 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in fine condition, if it's made of zinc, might be worth $350,000 in the collector market. However, if you have a copper version, especially if it's a large date, the value could be considerably higher, ranging anywhere from $500,000 depending on the demand. But here's the ultra-rare varieties, particularly those that are in near mint condition or uncirculated, have fetched much higher prices. This is why collectors are so intrigued by the 1982 penny. It's like a treasure hunt, with the possibility of finding a rare and valuable coin hiding in plain sight. Next up, exploring the hidden value of a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1964 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark. If you're a collector, a numismatic enthusiast, or just curious about the worth of that old penny sitting in your drawer, this video is for you. Stay tuned as we uncover the history, significance, and current market value of this fascinating piece of American currency. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1909, marking the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1964 Lincoln cent, in particular, carries a significant historical context. Produced at a time of transition and economic change, this penny is part of the last series of coins struck predominantly in copper before the widespread use of copper-plated zinc in later years. But what really makes the 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark so special? If you take a closer look at a 1964 Lincoln cent and notice that it doesn't have a mint mark, you're holding a coin minted in Philadelphia. The absence of a mint mark signifies that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, did not use a mint mark on its coins. This detail is crucial for collectors, as the mint of origin can affect a coin's rarity and value. When assessing the value of a coin, its condition or grade plays a critical role. The 1964 Lincoln cent we're discussing today is in fine condition. But what does that mean? A coin in fine condition shows moderate wear on its highest points, with significant details still visible. For instance, on a Lincoln cent, you can still make out Lincoln's hair and the lines in his coat, but they might be slightly worn. This level of detail is crucial in determining the coin's overall worth. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much is a 1964 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark in fine condition actually worth today? While the coin's face value is just 1 cent, its collector's value can be much higher, as of today, depending on the market and the coin's condition. A 1964 Lincoln cent in fine condition might fetch anywhere from $400,000 in the collector market. While this might seem like a fortune, it's important to remember that the value of uncommon coins like these can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and historical significance. In some cases, collectors might pay a bit more for a 1964 cent in fine condition if it has an interesting history or if it's part of a collection they're completing. It's also worth noting that professional grading can sometimes increase the value if the coin is found to be in better condition than initially thought. So, should you hold on to your 1964 Lincoln cent, or is it better to cash in now? While the coin's current market value is exceptionally high, it might be worth keeping, especially if you're a dedicated collector. Coins like these, which are rich in history and produced in small quantities, often serve as great introductory pieces for new collectors. Over time, as the availability of these coins decreases, their value might increase, making them a potentially valuable part of your collection in the long run. Next up, a special coin from American history, the 1976 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark. If you've ever wondered about the value of this iconic penny in fine condition, you're in the right place. So let's uncover what makes this coin so unique and its current market value today. Before we get into the details of the coin's value, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The 1976 Lincoln penny is part of the series that began in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, which has remained largely unchanged for over a century. Now, you might be wondering, why is there no mint mark on this coin? Well, coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally didn't carry a mint mark until 1980. So if your 1976 penny doesn't have a mint mark. Now, let's talk about the condition. The value of any coin, including the 1976 Lincoln penny, is significantly influenced by its condition. The coin we're discussing today is in what's known as fine condition. Coins in fine condition show moderate wear, particularly on the high points of the design like Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline. However, all the major details remain clear and defined. It's still decent enough for collectors who appreciate history and detail. So what's the big question on everyone's mind? How much is this 1976 Lincoln penny without a mint mark worth today? As of today, the collector market for Lincoln pennies is incredibly diverse. For a 1976 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in fine condition, the value is typically highest. These coins generally fetch between $276,000 in today's market. The true worth of this coin is in its historical significance. For coin collectors, especially those building a complete Lincoln cent collection, it's a piece of American history that has circulated through countless hands and carries with it the legacy of one of the nation's greatest presidents. So, why do collectors still love the 1976 Lincoln penny, even though it's not particularly rare or valuable? It's all about the story. 1976 was a significant year in American history, marking the Bicentennial of the United States. It still represents a time of celebration and patriotism in the country's history. For many collectors, owning a penny from this year is like owning a small piece of that patriotic spirit. Plus, Lincoln pennies are a staple in any coin collection. They're accessible, rich in history, and a great starting point for new collectors. If you're a collector or just starting out, here are a few tips for collecting Lincoln pennies, especially the 1976 version. You'd be surprised how often these pennies turn up in pocket change. Always keep an eye out. Even though the coin is highly valuable, keeping it in good condition is key. Store it in a protective sleeve or album to avoid further wear. The value of coins can fluctuate based on demand. Keep an eye on coin auctions and collector forums to stay informed. Thanks for watching today's video on the 1976 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments if you have a 1976 penny in your collection, or if there's another coin you'd like me to cover. Happy collecting!